The anti-money laundering bill, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important bill in combating money laundering and organized crime in our country. Mr. Speaker, there is a serious problem we have in this country when it comes to money laundering, because a lot of our monies are lost in that manner. Because look at what's happening in the counties, for example, Mr. Speaker. Look at what yesterday happened in Kiambu. A lot of money just stashed somewhere. You don't know where it has come from. You don't know what the purpose is. You know, why is that money not in a bank account, Mr. Speaker? Now, this bill is supposed to be dealing with those kind of things. You know, yesterday I saw people, you know, the anti-corruption agencies showing Kenyans, I don't know how many millions of shillings and dollars that have been stashed in homes. That is exactly why we are passing this bill, so that people get afraid of stashing money in their homes instead of in their bank accounts. Because if the money is in the bank account, there will be a formality, there will be a formal way of accounting for it. But now, Mr. Speaker, when you are allowed to keep any amount of money without any accountability in your home, in your mattress, under your bed, you know, some of them, I'm told, the money that was found yesterday in Kiambu was covered with sofrias. That's the information we are getting in Parliament. I don't know whether it is true. And plates. Mr. Speaker, how does that happen in somebody's home? And Mr. Speaker, this bill now is timely, and the President must assent to it as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible, because it is going to help in the financial management of this country, Mr. Speaker. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I support the third reading.
Chief Konga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill, as the minority leader said, is indeed very important. Very important in the sense that, you know, Kenya, we've been accused of money laundering. Now, this bill will get rid of some of these things, the shenanigans that we may have seen yesterday. And Mr. Speaker, when people are arrested or called upon to account, Mr. Speaker, they should not plead politics. They should just say, we have just been found with some money, which is unexplained proceeds of crime, and he goes to plead in a court of law, and the rule of law will take its own course, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, this law is very important, and as it has been said, the President should sign as quickly as possible to deal with some of these untoward characters that indeed have become so in Kenya.
Yeah. I'm just curious. You're a senior lawyer.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the answer, the Honorable Murugaru is a senior lawyer. Is having money in your house evidence of crime?
Mr. Speaker, it is not evidence of crime. But as you know, we passed the the FRC regulations recently. For you to have money, more than 1 million shillings, you should be able to explain its source. You should explain its source. If you are unable to explain its source, then under the Assets Recovery Department, then it will be treated as proceeds of crime. So, Mr. Speaker, there is nobody who is supposed to be holding huge cash in his house, and more importantly, as an elected leader, Mr. Speaker.
Lastly, on this matter will be Honorable Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to start by thanking everyone for standing with me and to thank God for everything. Mr. Speaker, in this country today, what we are seeing, you see, the form of money laundering in this country has really changed. You remember, Mr. Speaker, when the former president changed the system, people have now changed, others have gone into small mini markets. Most of the petrol stations are used for the same. And it's a very, when you look at it, you wonder, how will you be selling here, another one selling here, another one selling here, then you have a big mall, and people are just moving, and you wonder how business is moving. So this bill comes in now to assist us, and more importantly, to just tell us that as a country, we must be very wary that while we accept we have very many foreigners who are coming to support us and to visit, we have to also have checks and balances of what we are doing in this country. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support.
Thank you, honourable members. I want to put a question. Order, which is that, I confirm this quorum, of course, is that the question is that the anti-money laundering and combating of terrorism financing laws amendment bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2025, being now read a third time. As many of that opinion say aye. Those of that opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the laws relating to anti-money laundering and combating of terrorism financing and proliferation financing and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 10, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointment as principal secretaries, State Department for Public Investments and Asset Management and State Department for Economic Planning. Question to be put.
Honourable members, as you are aware, debate on this special motion was concluded yesterday, and therefore wish that the House makes a decision one way or the other. Therefore, order. I therefore put the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning in its report on the vetting of nominees for appointment as principal secretaries in State Departments of Public Investments and Asset Management and the State Department for Economic Planning, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 10th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155, 3B of the Constitution of Kenya, and Section 3 and 8 of Public Appointments, Parliament Approvals Act, Cap 7F, this House approved the appointment of the following persons as principal secretaries. 1, Mr. Cyril Wagunda Odede, to the State Department for Public Investments and Asset Management, and 2, Dr. Boniface Makoha, to the State Department for Economic Planning. Will, as one of that opinion, say aye? Aye. Will, as many of that opinion, say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 11, special motion, consideration of a nominee
as Principal Secretary, State Department for National Government Coordination, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 10th April 2025, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 10th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155, 3B of the Constitution and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the Honorable Ahmed Abdisalan Ibrahim as the Principal Secretary, State Department for National Government Coordination. Will as one of that opinion say aye? Aye. And those of that opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Order number 12, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointment as principal secretaries, State Department for Children Welfare Service and State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. Question to be put.
Members, debate on this motion was also concluded yesterday and is now for us to make a decision this morning. And therefore proceed to put the question that order. That taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Social Protection in its report on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as Principal Secretaries in the State Department for Children Welfare Services and State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 10th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155, 3B of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approvals Act, Cap 7F, this House approved the appointment of the following persons as Principal Secretaries. 1, CPA Karen Achieng Agengo for the State Department for Children Welfare Services, and Mr. Fikirini Jacobs Katoi Kahindi to the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. Order. Will, as many of that opinion, say aye? Aye. Will, as many of that opinion, say nay? Ayes have it. Honorable members, order. It is our rules that you can consult anytime, but when the Speaker is on his feet, you don't do anything. You don't even open your mouth. And Honorable Kakucha was a Speaker of a county assembly before. He knows that. freezing means freezing. This. Okay, next order.
Order number 13, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment as cabinet secretary.
What's our order, Honorable Junet?
Mr. Speaker, the order number 13 has been called out, Mr. Speaker, where we are going to debate on the nominees for cabinet secretaries. And one of the nominees seated here. Mr. Speaker, you cannot skin a monkey when he's looking at you. That is the African proverb, Mr. Speaker, from where I come from. So can he leave the chamber so that members can have freedom to speak about him, what they think about him, Mr. Speaker?
I have not seen any monkey in the house this morning.
Yeah.
Also out of order, the Honorable.
I want to set the record straight. We don't eat monkeys in Northeastern Province, but he comes from the Nyanza, so we don't skin monkeys. For the record, that only applies to where he represents in Parliament.
I think we'll do this a different way. I don't want to pronounce myself on the mic on that matter, but the person concerned has been communicated to accordingly. Of course, there are repercussions that if he doesn't follow this one that is given to him, the House could always vote either way. So there are repercussions for refusing to follow what does. Okay. All members, I wish to call upon the Honorable Junet. I'm informed they're not moving this motion. Is that the position? Oh, the Majority Leader is in the House. Majority Leader, proceed with this motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its 5th report on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as cabinet secretaries laid on the table of the House yesterday, Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Articles 152(2) of the Constitution and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of the following persons as cabinet secretaries. 1, the Honorable Geoffrey Kirenga-Ruku in the Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs. And 2, Ms. Hannah Wendot Cheptumo in the Ministry of Gender, Culture, the Arts and Heritage. Honorable Speaker, as I move, Honorable Speaker, let me first begin by thanking all the members of the Public Appointments Committee, of the Appointments Committee, not Public Appointments. It's the act that is called Public Appointments. Of the Appointments Committee who availed themselves the whole of Monday to be able to go through the motions of vetting these 2 cabinet secretaries, led by our Honorable Speaker, who is the chair of the Appointments Committee, and dedicated a lot of their time on Monday and yesterday morning to be able to approve these 2 cabinet secretaries. As I said, by the Public Appointments Act, Parliamentary Approval Act, and the provisions of the Constitution under Article 152, Sub-Article 2. Honorable Speaker, further pursuant to Article 118 of the Constitution, we did invite, on public participation, we did invite members of the public to submit memoranda in contesting the suitability of either of the nominees, and we were able to receive 3 memoranda, out of which only 1 complied with the provisions of the Act, And in this regard, we examine the nominees on the issues raised in the memorandum as contained in the report that I tabled yesterday afternoon. Honorable Speaker, additionally, we were able to look at all the clearance reports from the various agencies, EACC, DCI, the Office of Registrar of Political Parties. I know someone like the Honorable Kiringa Ruku has previously claimed to be the party leader of the Democratic Party of Kenya, but it became clear that he was only doing so as husband, the late Senator Cheptumo. Geoffrey Ruku is our colleague and has been in public service at least for the last 2.5 years, has immense experience in the private sector. And Honorable Speaker, Ruku, having been elected by the people of Mbeere North 2.5 years ago, has served the people of Mbeere North with a lot of commitment and dedication. It was also notable, Honorable Speaker, that the Honorable Geoffrey Ruku has been a very dedicated legislator. Honorable Speaker, you will notice even this morning, Honorable Ruku was here very early. And it is not because his name was appearing on the order paper. It's not the only reason why he was here. Because he has been a very diligent legislator. Members of this House will bear me witness that among the best first-time members of this House, among the best, has been the Honorable Geoffrey Kiringa Ruku. Honorable Ruku has not only been present in the House, he actually, when he got to this House, he used to sit somewhere at the back. But at some point, he moved to the seat next to the Parliamentary Service Commissioners, next to you, Honorable Speaker. And you know from his height, you cannot fail to notice Honorable Ruku. And maybe because of that, his height and physique, he has had opportunity to contribute immensely to many motions and debates in this House and bills. And I must give credit to Honorable Ruku because he has been a avid debater who has actively participated in legislative. You know, Honorable Speaker, there are members who are usually in this House conversing, making noise, gossiping, but never debating. And they never give those on the floor time even to be heard. But Honorable Ruku has been far from that. The Honorable Ruku has been an avid debater, someone who takes his time to read and understand what is before the House. Honorable Speaker, not only in the House, Honorable Speaker, you have seen the Honorable Ruku, how good he has been in articulating government policy. And if you can protect me from the noise behind me, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying Honorable Ruku has been very...
From the rebel.
Mr. Speaker.
Give the honorable member the mic.
Mr. Speaker, from the statements of the majority leader, he has described members as gossipers in this House. Mr. Speaker, is that a parliamentary language admissible in this House, Mr. Speaker? It's very demeaning of members.
The majority leader act accordingly and desist from using terms that would cause so many...
Honorable Speaker, unless you feel guilty, I have not named any names. I said in support of the Honorable Ruku, he has been an avid debater in this House. And it's a fact that speaks for itself. I also, if there are members who are present in the House but don't debate, and the Hansard can prove me right. And if anyone wants to challenge me, I can adduce evidence of how many times each and every one of us has been debating in this House. And those who have been very noisy without debating, I can also adduce evidence. Honorable Speaker, I was saying Honorable Ruku has also been very keen in articulating government policy, both in the House, outside the House, and even on national TV in debates, and informing the public what the government is doing, and also on his work as a legislator. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Ms. Hannah Wendot Cheptumo, as I said, is an accomplished professional. And I know, Honorable Speaker, this lady has been welcomed to the public sector by those on social media because of an unfortunate statement that she made. Inadvertently, Honorable Speaker, I must say so. And for those who are keen on the approval hearing, we'll notice that she was basically responding to something that was prompted to her by a member of the committee. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I know she has been welcomed to the public sector by those on social media in not a very kind way, Honorable Speaker, but I can tell members of the public that Ms. Cheptumo is an accomplished lawyer, a lady of immense professional attributes as a lawyer, as a defender of human rights, as a fighter for women's rights, and as a lover of children, including as much as gender issues are not just about women, but because of the cases we have seen in the country of femicide and abuse of the rights of women in this country, I am very certain, being an accomplished lawyer, Ms. Hannah Wendot Cheptumo will be at the forefront in defending both genders. Because, Honorable Speaker, during the approval hearings, I did hear the Honorable Junette, the leader of minority, assert that indeed there are also men who suffer. And they suffer quietly. And they look up to Ms. Cheptumo to ensure that they are not suffering quietly, because gender-based issues are not just about the female gender.
Point of? No, just what is out of order? Just give it to the Honorable Deputy Speaker.
As much as I agree with the leader of majority on the professionalism of Hannah Wendot Cheptumo, I still think that the statement she made was unfortunate. It's completely politically incorrect.
Order.
And she must
Order. This motion is coming up for debate shortly. So anybody wants to say something about it, will say it at that time. Don't want you to proceed and finish on this.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, because I honestly didn't understand what was out of order. That is a point for debate. And I only asserted, Honorable Speaker, what transpired. And I know the Deputy Speaker, who is a member of the Appointments Committee, was away. She was not in the vetting committee. Therefore, she would understand where we are coming from on that matter. But I was asserting that this lady has what it takes to defend the rights of both genders, whether it is the male gender or the female gender. And I was asserting that the Honorable Junette did actually get that assertion from her, that gender matters are cut across both ways. Honorable Speaker, I am certain that this lady will be able to serve the Kenyan people and the Kenyan government. And Honorable Speaker, without being an apologist for her, it is only right at times to understand the context in which things are said, and someone who has not been in the space that she was in that day is likely to make such small mistakes, Honorable Speaker. When you have not less than 20 cameras on your face and you are not used to it, Honorable Speaker, people panic and may answer questions in a way that they never intended to. And that is why I said, if the Deputy Speaker was listening to me, and I'm sure even now she's not listening, I said it was inadvertent. Honorable Speaker, I hope the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Gladys Bosholai, has heard what I said, that it was inadvertent, and therefore, on behalf of the good lady, may I offer unreserved apologies, because indeed, I'm certain it's something she regretted after she watched what had happened, and I have since spoken to her, and she has offered her unreserved apologies to the country, to the committee, to this House for that inadvertent statement. And I think it is only right that even us, as people who are keen on defending not just girl and women rights, but even the rights of men who are being battered in some quarters, Honorable Speaker, and we must be able to support this lady. And the Honorable Ruko Kiringa Joffrey. Honorable Speaker, allow me to then move, request the leader of minority to second this motion in agreement, who is also a senior member of this committee of appointments. Honorable Speaker, urge the House to support the appointment of these two cabinet secretaries so that they may go forth and serve the people of Kenya. Honorable Ruko will leave this House, if approved by the House, to go and serve in the executive, Honorable Speaker. And I remember me telling him during the vetting process, the approval hearing on Monday, that we have seen in the past members who left this House, got to the executive and became very arrogant. became members of the executive who hold members of parliament with contempt. And we have told the Honorable Ruku, he will be the yardstick of the SI unit to measure whether it is customary that any member who leaves the legislature to go into the executive holds members of parliament and the people of Kenya with contempt. We do hope that he will serve with dedication, serve with the same commitment we have seen him serve the people of Butere North in the House, both in committee and in plenary. And we wish him all the best as he goes to serve in the executive. And we want to believe that he will serve better than those who have been there. I know he's a very young person, a very young man from Butere North. I know there are those who are full of bile, as I said yesterday, because the Honorable Ruku is seen as a son to many of them. And they are angry that the replacement for the office of the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service is coming from Butere and from a young man who qualifies to be somebody's son. But let me say, Honorable Ruku is not just appointed because he comes from Butere. He has been appointed because of his capacity and ability to serve the people of Kenya in the position of Cabinet Secretary, just like he has served the people of Butere North, had confidence in electing him as a member of parliament. And with that, Honorable Speaker, I beg for support for these two Cabinet Secretaries, and I beg to move and request Honorable Junet to second.
The Minority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion for adoption of the 5th report of the Committee on Appointments on the approval hearings of nominees for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries. Honorable Speaker, I wish to briefly highlight the specific observations that the committee made in respect of each nominee. Honorable Speaker, permit me to start with the first nominee, the Honorable Geoffrey Kariuki Kiringa Ruku, who has been nominated to take over the Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ruku, as we all fondly refer to him as until recently a member of this House, and we all know him as an excellent, principled, and astute legislator. During his service in the House, his commitment to resolving issues of concern, not just to his constituency, but the nation, was evident, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Ruku has also vast experience in public service, having served not just as a member of parliament from Butere North constituency, but also as a trustee of the Water Services Trust Fund. The nominee holds a Master's of Business Administration in Finance, postgraduate diploma in Diplomacy and International Relations, and a Bachelor of Commerce degree in Business Administration. Honorable Speaker, moving on to the last nominee, to the second nominee, Madam Hannah Wendot Cheptumo, the nominee for appointment as Cabinet Secretary for Gender, Culture and the Arts and the Heritage. The nominee possesses relevant experience in public service, having previously served as a cooperative officer and a member of the disciplinary committee of ISPAC. In terms of academic qualifications, the nominee holds a bachelor's degree in law and a diploma in cooperative management. Honorable Speaker, as a committee, we also examined them on specific issues that fall under the dockets for which they have been nominated. And I can confirm that the two nominees meet the constitutional and statutory requirements for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, let me say something. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ruku has been with us in this House for the last 2.5 years. And Mr. Speaker, it is true, as the way the majority leader has said, that he has been very active in this House. He has participated in this debate as even a first time, and Mr. Speaker has done well. And he has been also participating in media conferences, Mr. Speaker, where he has been articulating. He can do the assignment that he has been given as Cabinet Secretary for Public Service. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ruku also has a wide experience because he has worked in different organizations. I've seen he has worked with Oxfam, a non-governmental organization. He He has worked with the Water Trust Fund and other non-governmental organizations that have given him a lot of experience together with the public service he has done for the last 2.5 years. But having said, Mr. Speaker, let me come now to Madam Hannah Wendot. Mr. Speaker, me, if my opinion was sought, I will have made the Minister for Gender a man and not a lady, Mr. Speaker. Because gender cuts across, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Don't Madenge.
what is this, Mr. Speaker?
Don't Madenge.
This is how many people behave. You are addressing the Speaker and standing in front of him.
Wait, where is the majority leader's mic?
What is this, Mr. Speaker? These are farmers. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, broad-based. Mr. Speaker, he's saying it's broad-based. And even his physical appearance is broad-based, I can see.
Proceed with the matter at hand.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to say this. You remember, Mr. Speaker, we had vetted another nominee earlier, who the House rejected. This is the second nominee that we have vetted 1 week ago. If you ask me, the Minister for Gender, Majority Leader, should be made a man. Because gender cuts across. And I think a man will have served the interests of women better than women themselves. He will have made sure that gender parity is mainstreamed in this country. I will have made sure, if today I was made the Minister for Gender, I will make sure this House conforms to the 2/3 gender, Mr. Speaker. I will have made sure that women get their rights. I will have made sure, Mr. Speaker, that there is no appointment that happens in this country which will not have the 2/3 gender. I think the right person to be the Minister for Gender is a man. Mr. Speaker, why do I say so? Mr. Speaker, it looks like women are given an opportunity to deal with their matters, but they don't take it serious. I hope Madam Wendot, if approved by this House, will take the issue of women very serious. Secondly, having been a member of that committee that vetted him, she must apologize. She must apologize on the statement, on the remarks she made on the women who die in Airbnb. Mr. Speaker, whether you are looking for money or not, you don't deserve to die. Death is not an answer to anything, Mr. Speaker. And you can't affirm whether those ladies were making money. How do you know they were looking? How do you know it's a love that went sour? You can't know. So in her qualifications, I have a lot of confidence that she can do the work, because she came before the committee with a lot of confidence, with a lot of experience. She showed that she can do the work. On that line, I'm supporting her, and I want us to give her a chance. But on the issue where when some people appear before committees, they panic. There's a panic, attack. That there's one of the cabinet secretaries, I don't want to mention the name, who appeared before the committee one time, and she could not answer a single question. So later I asked her in the afternoon, what happened? She told me, I don't know whether I was bewitched. I just appeared there and I could not answer any question. I don't know. I think there's something that happened that I cannot understand. And the House rejected, the committee rejected, but later the House approved. Mr. Speaker, in terms of her qualifications, she's a lawyer. She has done very well. She is a wife to a former politician. She has interacted with the public very well for the last 20 years. She is a leader in the church. She is a social worker. She has all the qualifications to advance the agenda of the women folk of this country. But on the statement, the remarks she made, if she finds favor with this House, she must give a clear statement of apology, Mr. Speaker, to the nation and especially to the women of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. And from there now she can assume office. That is, in fact, that should have been a condition to our approval, condition precedent, that we are going to approve you on condition that you apologize to the women of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, femicide is a very serious offense in this country. Women are killed for no reason, Mr. Speaker. She is the person we are putting in office to protect women, and not to agree with the killers that they were looking for money or they were looking for what. Who told you when you are with a woman in a room she's looking for money? Who told you? It could be the man who's looking for money. It could be the man who's poor. It could be the man who doesn't have money and he wants to con the woman, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Don't underrate women nowadays with money. Many women are rich. Some of them who are sitting here are very rich women. I know, Mr. Speaker. Some of them are richer than us. There's one facing me here. I know what she owns, Mr. Speaker. I know what she owns, Mr. Speaker. She is a very rich woman here. I know where she made the money from, but she's very rich, Mr. Speaker. I don't want to say how she made the money, but she's a very rich woman, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the issue of associating with women with poverty, that any woman who is with a man is a gold digger, must stop, Mr. Speaker. That is stereotyping our women, Mr. Speaker. And the lives of our women are sacrosanct. Mr. Speaker, there is no life in this world without a woman, Mr. Speaker. And we must be all defenders of women's rights, whether we are men or women, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I think Honorable, you see, we are discussing women affairs, and it is women who are shouting here, Mr. Speaker. This is the problem we have in Kenya. If they could elect each other, they will be the president of this country, Mr. Speaker. They don't want to vote for themselves. They only vote for men, then later they say, oh, we are being marginalized. Mr. Speaker, if every woman votes for a woman, this house will have 2/3. I'm telling you, the biggest voters or who have brought men to this house are women, I can tell you. The votes that you are sure of in your constituency, that you don't doubt, that you are sure you will get, is the vote of a woman. You know a man the way they are. They can talk to you in the morning, and in the afternoon is with your opponent. But if a woman gives you assurance that I'm going to vote for you, you are sure of that vote. Mr. Speaker, so I wish they could vote for themselves, because if they decide to vote for themselves, this issue of 2/3 gender will end. This problem will be sorted, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to say, let's give Madam Hannah Wendot a chance. You know, God is a God of a second chance, Mr. Speaker. Let's give her a chance. Let's see how she performs. And the power, the constitutional power of appraising cabinet secretaries is with this house, Mr. Speaker. We can summon them anytime. We can call them to answer questions. And if she does not perform, we have the constitutional mandate of impeaching. If we impeach the deputy president who was rogue, what's a minister? What's a minister? That is one afternoon session. If we impeach the rogue man who was calling Kenyans that you are not a shareholder, you are a shareholder, you are not a member of this country, you are from Tanzania, Shungwa is from Ghana, that's what he said. If we impeach that one, what is a cabinet secretary? It's a one afternoon session. We can deal with them perpendicularly here. With one after, as many of that opinion say aye, and he has gone home. He has gone home. So let's give her a second chance. I can tell you, this lady came from a very hostile background, Mr. Speaker. You know the way Baringo is. It's a semi-arid area. She has seen many sounds of guns, Mr. Speaker, more than, music. Mr. Speaker, she has seen a lot of problems. And recently, she lost her husband. And you know what the Quran and the Bible say about widows, Mr. Speaker. Anybody who jokes with widows, in our Quran, a widow is supposed to mourn for 4 months and 10 days. She's in the 4 months and 10 days, Mr. Speaker. Unfortunately, she got the appointment in those 4 months. We have no reason other than approving her, Mr. Speaker. So let us approve her. Let us give her a chance. Let us support her. Let her apologize to the women of Kenya for the unfortunate remarks she made. And we will say hallelujah, and God will guide her, and we will have a prosperous country. Mr. Speaker, I second.
People are already holding their hands up, even those who have just walked in now. All members, I want to propose the question, which is that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its 5th report on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as cabinet secretaries, laid on the table of the House today, actually yesterday, 3 and 8 of public appointments, Parliament Approval Act Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as cabinet secretaries. 1, the Honorable Geoffrey Kiringa Ruku, the Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs. And 2, Ms. Hannah Wendot Cheptumo to the Ministry of Gender, Culture, the Arts and Heritage. What is out of order? Do you want order? Order. The member for Marakwet East, is it a point of debate or a point of order? Because I'm going to ask you on which order you are. So which standing order are you standing on?
Honorable Speaker, it's just a small issue, as you've heard from many members here. Mrs. Cheptumo, Honorable
If you're
Speaker,
going to debate,
I just want, Mr. Speaker.
Order. If you're going to debate, I'll give you a chance to debate. Then you're going to have to tell me which standing order you're standing on.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to the leader of majority to make it clear in this house, because he said Mrs. Cheptumo, Honorable Speaker, called him or communicated this apology to the leader of majority. So, Mr. Speaker, it has to be clear if there was that communication, so that even as we make this debate, we could make this debate, Honorable Speaker, knowing that the lady has already conveyed her apologies to this house.
The order. The member for Ariada, what's out of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 1 for your directions as read with Article 152 of the Constitution on a small but important point. Article 152 of the Constitution, sub-article 3 is very clear. A cabinet secretary shall not be a member of parliament. I need your directions on at what point should a member of this house appointed to be the cabinet resign. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is that point is made acute by the Honorable Geoffrey Ruku today. I think he should not have come to the house. But by coming to the house and letting the whole world see that is part of the house, that is debating his approval, it brings into sharp focus the distinction between parliament and the executive. Mr. Speaker, I'd like it to be known, because it has arisen yet in respect of another nominee, who, as I understand, was a dual citizen, and when presented with that question, said that they will give up the citizenship of the other country. Mr. Speaker, my understanding is a pre-qualification must exist at the time of vetting, at the time of approval, and at the time of appointment, not only at appointment. Because then it means that at the point of approval, you are not qualified. Because if you say it's on a promise of subsequently resigning or subsequently relinquishing your citizenship, what happens if you don't? What happens if the president acts on the approval of the parliament without you acting? So my very small point, Mr. Speaker, and it is not about the Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, it is about guidance for this house, it is about guidance for the committees, is that if there's a qualification that is necessary, whether it's against dual citizenship, whether it's against holding a certain office, should it be at the point of vetting or should it be at the point of appointment? My remarks in respect of the Honorable Hannah Cheptumo, I will make when I get the opportunity. But I associate with the idea, I think she should just correct what she said. I sympathize with her situation though, but I will say that later. Thank you very much.
Matter. And I think I can deal with it. I don't need assistance on that matter. Okay, just 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, this issue that has been raised by Honorable Otiende Amolo was raised in this House in the year 2015, for those of us who were here by then, when Honorable Nkaiseri was appointed as a Cabinet Secretary of Interior and something else. It's called Interior and what? And Prisons. Interior and National Corporation, National Administration, Coordination. So, Mr. Speaker, that time, the Speaker then, Honorable Justin Muturi, who has now become Hivi, made a ruling, Mr. Speaker, made a ruling. Mr. Speaker, he said, when does someone assume office? That was the question that was raised here, Mr. Speaker. And it was confirmed on the floor by him that someone assumes office when he takes oath of office. When he takes oath of office, when you are elected at the constituency, you remain a member of parliament elect until you come here and then you carry the Quran or the Bible or you do affirmation and then you become now a member of parliament. Ruku is that the process of him becoming a cabinet secretary is ongoing. Because the president nominates cabinet secretaries, takes them to National Assembly for approval, then appoints them now after that. Because there is a ceremony of taking oath of office at state. So, Mr. Speaker, before he takes the oath of office is when he's required to resign from the other job that he's handling. That's what that speaker said then. Even though yesterday I saw him saying that CDF now is illegal, Mr. Speaker, and he was presiding
not
here and defending CDF for 10 good years, Mr. Speaker.
We will not go
Mr.
there.
Speaker, I'm really worried about lawyers. Because they keep on changing their positions.
Order. And Majority Leader, this will take 2 minutes at most. 2 minutes at most.
Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with the Leader of Minority that this is a matter that has been dealt with in the past. And the Honorable Otiende Amolo actually knows that this matter has been dealt with in the past. And in fact, my senior counsel, Otiende, is the one who has been teaching me on how to interpret the Constitution as a lawyer. And he tells me, when you read the Constitution, you don't read one part of the Constitution to the exclusion of the other. And he read for us Article 152, sub-Article 3, that a cabinet secretary shall not be a member of parliament. But 4 also says that each person appointed as a cabinet secretary assumes office by swearing or affirming faithful to the people and the Republic of Kenya upon taking oath. That is the point when someone becomes a cabinet secretary. Therefore, Honorable Ruku is not a cabinet secretary. The thing I would agree with Honorable Otiende, Honorable Ruku ought not to sit in the House, and I think it was wise of him to leave the chamber at a time when, as Honorable Judet said, you cannot skin a monkey when it's staring at you. To Honorable Speaker, remember this parliament, this 13th parliament, the Speaker himself was an elected senator for Bungoma County. And the same question arose, and I think the same member for Rarieda, who raised the issue, that the Honorable Speaker Moses Masika Wetangula was an elected senator, and therefore ought not to qualify for election of Speaker. And there was a decision that the Speaker made on that because he had not taken oath of office as Speaker. As Honorable Junet said, at the time, General Kaiseri was appointed Cabinet Secretary for Interior when he was a member of this House. The former Cabinet Secretary for Energy, Senator Charles Keter, was appointed as a Cabinet Secretary for Energy at the point when he was Senator for Kericho County. And therefore, you do not become a Cabinet Secretary until you are formally appointed and sworn into office. And the exclusion is if only upon appointment, not nomination. And therefore, you are right in place to vet Honorable Ruku and also consider him for appointment. He should not be in the House, and I think wise counsel prevailed on him. It's just his enthusiasm and diligence in serving the people. That is why he had appeared in the House to transact the business ahead of this business. But when we got to this business, he has kindly excused himself and gone to have a cup of tea. And I'm sure he's watching.
I don't think I need to say anything on this matter because as recent as when we passed the current Cabinet Secretary for Energy and the one for Finance, less than 4 months ago, the Speaker gave a ruling on this matter, leave alone the ones from Kaiseri and the other ones. We have proper precedent. The Honorable Otiende knows this, and I'm sure that he's addressing himself this particular matter. I will not spend energy on this matter. The two ladies, gentleman and lady, are rightly in the House, rightly being debated for the House, and they will do what's needful in case this House approves him. That's what I would make as well on this matter. So I don't want us to spend so much time on this matter. If you want to speak on this matter, don't raise a point of order. I won't allow any going forward. We'll debate and make a decision either way. The member for Baringo North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the approval of the two cabinet secretaries, nominees. Mr. Speaker, at least for some time, I have known Honorable Ruku as a member of parliament from Butere North. So, Speaker, that's a gentleman that I have known for some time, and he, as said by the majority leader, I think Honorable Ruko has been very good defender of government, very good defender of policies that come before us, and sometimes even during times of trouble in this house, Honorable Ruko stands tall to protect us from aggression. So, Speaker, to the Honorable Ann Wendot Cheptumo, I want to inform this House that Han comes from my constituency, and she comes from one of the ravaged areas by banditry. And I have known her before she married the late Honorable Senator Baringo. So, Speaker, this is a very diligent woman. This is a woman that can deliver on a mandate. So, Speaker, it's only unfortunate that she caught shocks of facing members of parliament. And in the process, in my own opinion, was not right, so it's not good for this country. But, Mr. Speaker, as said by the majority leader, I humbly request you, members of parliament, that find favor to forgive her in your hearts. She is a good person to become the cabinet secretary for gender. Kindly find favor. Find favor, because I have known her for some time, and that is not what she is. And if she makes that, or she has made that public apology, even me as a member of parliament that comes from that area, on her behalf, I humbly request you, kindly forgive her. I also want to apologize to say that was wrong, and it should never happen again for someone who would want to take that particular position, who shall protect the interests of both gender, the female and the male. So, Speaker, I am very sorry for what happened. And I know she will not, that is not our behavior. So, Speaker, so I have the ability, she has the ability to run the ministry. For the many years that she has been able to run the law firm of Cheptumo and Company Advocates when Cheptumo was busy in politics. So, Speaker, that woman stood firm in the family. And I want to thank the President for finding favor to appoint Ann Cheptumo as, to bring Ann Cheptumo as nominee for Cabinet Secretary for Gender. So, Speaker, that not as she serves the people of Kenya. So, Speaker, it is also a way that the President is able to say that the people of Baringo who lost a senator recently 1 month ago, and this lady has been reeling in pain, and it is only good that we find favor to give her an opportunity to serve as a cabinet secretary for this country. So, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the people of Baringo North, I want to thank the President and request these members of parliament with a lot of humility that this lady is still recovering from the loss of her husband. Yes, the Senator Cheptumo passed on. So, let us not add another pain to the children and that family. Kindly forgive. I'm asking you, I'm one of your colleagues. Find favor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Farah Malim.
Mr. Speaker, I join my colleagues also in supporting this motion. Ruku has been a member of this parliament for the last 2.5 years. And me and you have sat on that chair many times, and we know how effective a debater he was. And he has no hypocrisy around himself. When he supports an idea, he supports it and he explains it. I've been with him on a number of occasions on media houses, and I really liked how he defended what he believed in. So for Ruku, let us, and on the other bit, you've already made your point straight, that he only becomes a minister, and that's the time when he's not supposed to be an MP. Must resign before that. And that is on taking the oath of office. As of the lady, Madam Wendot, I have served in this house with a husband, the late Senator Cheptumo, one of the finest legislators I've had an opportunity to serve with myself. Mr. Speaker, in my faith, our prophet was asked one time, and I want my friends from the other side to listen to this. Our prophet was asked, who has a right over me in as far as my parents are concerned? And the prophet said, your mother. And the same person said, who is next? And the prophet said, your mother. And then he said, who is third? Our prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, your mother. And then at the fourth time is when he said, your father. I kiss my mother's feet every morning when I come from home. She's still alive. She's about 90. And I'm thanking God that she's still around. Let us respect our lady folks. Whatever has happened, it's a small thing. Somebody has already apologized on her behalf. And I think we support the lady. And let us also give her all the support we can because of the kind of situation we are all in now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Marsabit.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And as I stand, I want to say that I support this motion of the appointee, the Cabinet Secretaries, Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, who has been a member of this House, and also very active member. He has been doing his oversight work very well and representing his people very, very well, because most of the time we are here with him in the evening when very few people are in the chamber. And because of his commitment, his passion to serve his people, and also to serve the government, I have no doubt that Honorable Ruku will perform even in his new docket of being the CS of Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development, and Special Program. Mine is just to tell him as he goes there, he should consider putting into consideration the entire county, the entire country should have a representation of the face of Kenya in every docket. I will be able to talk to him when he gets to the office, but I have no doubt that he will represent us well and also treat the members of parliament very well. Most of the time, Honorable Speaker, you go to these offices and you don't even get any chance to meet the CS or even the PS, and yet we work very hard for them to succeed in their offices. The idea of working with the government, I'm sure, I have no doubt. I tell him, please represent our people well, give your best to the government, and I'm sure God will bless his work. On Madam Anna Wendeto Cheptumo, Honorable Speaker, I watched her as she was doing the interview, and she did extremely well. She is a professional. She answered all the questions very well, and she presented herself very well and represented her people in a good way. Honorable Speaker, I want to congratulate her because of the courage that she demonstrated, putting into consideration that in less than a month's time, she lost her husband after having gone through all the challenges that she went through. And I know she will not embarrass us. She will be there for women. She will stand and serve the women of this country in the best possible way. About what she said that touched everybody's heart, and especially the mothers, the people who have lost their daughters or friends in a way. Honorable Speaker, I know the statement did not go well with many of us. But we are all human beings. And that is why today I stand to request and plead with all the women of this country to forgive Hannah Wendeto Cheptumo, because I'm sure maybe she did not understand the context that we have taken her in. And she will be able to serve our daughters well. Let us forgive her. Our God is a God of second chance. And also the Bible tells us, forgive each other. So let us forgive her. For those people who may have lost their daughters, their relatives, who feel bad about the statement, I know that it hurts, but let us forgive this great lady and give her another chance. Honorable Speaker, my message to Mrs. Cheptumo is, yes, you are coming in to this docket after we have waited to have the CS for gender for some months. Expectation is quite high. Women are there eagerly waiting for your performance. Please give your best to the nation. Convince us that you are able to carry the responsibility that we are given. And remember that our women, our young girls are facing a lot of challenges, and stand up for them, defend their rights. Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I support.
Member for Western Gishu. Just a minute. The Honorable Meli, I already said I will not give any point of order because you want to debate. We are not going to allow you to debate using a point of order. Go. What is it?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Reading the mood of the House, may the mover be called to reply. On standing order 95. Yes.
On order members. The Honorable Member for Singishu, take your seat. Take your seat. On this occasion, as members you would know, that the Speaker has allowed that if a point of order like the one raised now would undermine members' rights to contribute, I would rule it out of order. So a few members will contribute, then we'll do what he wants us to do. The Member for Singishu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to contribute to this nominations debate. First, I want to go on record to put this clearly. I support the candidature and the approval of the Honorable Hannah Wendeto Cheptumo, but with just a rider that we request her to apologize to the women of Kenya, because that is indeed a very, very careless statement. There is nothing wrong with making a mistake, but you can correct it by following it with an apology. She can do a public apology on the social media, she can do it in the dailies or in a press statement. But that is the minimum we expect, because I think it would be wrong for us as women leaders, and especially someone like me who has been in the women's movement for a long time, to trivialize those statements and not say anything about it. We owe it to the women of this country, and we also owe to take seriously the issues of femicide, which is almost becoming a national problem. So it is important, because we do not want to look like we are ignoring it. Because we also need to make sure that the next person, in their own statements, when they are speaking, don't make the same careless mistake. So yes, I support her approval, and I also support that of Honorable Ruku, who has been my desk mate there while he was in Bunge. I also approve that. And even as I say this, the Honorable Wendeto Cheptumo is somebody personally known to me. Not only was her late husband my classmate, but also she was my student at the University of Nairobi when she came to study law. So yes, she's known to me. But it would be wrong also for me, as having been her teacher, not to say that what she said was unfortunate. So that is all I have to say. Thank you.
I'm going to give 4 more. And if you took as little time as the Honorable Deputy Speaker has done, then we'll have more of you speaking. Take 2 minutes at most, and then we can proceed. The Honorable Zamzam, you're next in the line.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi nachukua fursa hii pia kuwapongeza hawa mawaziri ambao wameteuliwa wawili, ndugu yetu Geoffrey Ruku ambaye alikuwa ni mbunge mwenzetu hapa ndani ya bunge, Mheshimiwa Spika. Ama kwa hakika tutaweza kumiss sana ndugu yetu Ruku kwa sababu alikuwa ni mbunge ambaye ameweka ameweka sub-county yake mbele, Mheshimiwa Spika. Ilikuwa anashughulika sana na masuala mengi, ameleta bills nyingi, ameleta statements, na mimi nina imani kuwa watu wake pia hata kule mashinani watakuwa wanamkosa sana kwa sababu alikuwa ni kiongozi mchapakazi. Ila ushauri wangu kwa ndugu yangu Ruku ni kuwa mwenzako ambaye ametoka pale aliingia tukamuingiza vizuri akafanya kiburi. Na wewe sisi tunakuomba, umekuwa hapa na sisi, unaelewa matatizo ya Wakenya, ukiingia pale fanya heshima, fanya adabu, na ikiwa itatokea kwa umetoka utoke pia kwa heshima ambayo umeingia nayo, kwa sababu inatamausha sana ikiwa waziri amechaguliwa na ameingia katika serikali. Ndio maana tunasema siri kali. Lazima siri ambazo ziko kule wewe uziache kule hata kama unatoka. Ni aibu kuwa waziri ambaye alikuwa anaheshimika anaweza kutoka nje akaanza kuelezea mambo ambaye hakuweza kutuambia akiwa katika uwaziri. Kwa hiyo ndugu yangu Ruku, najua wewe ni mchapakazi, najua unaheshima, eka matakwa ya Wakenya mbele, fanya kazi kwa bidii na Mwenyezi Mungu akutangulie mbele. Nikija kwa dadangu Ann Cheptumo, Mheshimiwa Spika, huyu ni mama ambaye ameingia kwenye ujane. Ni mama ambaye ametoka kwenye misukosuko. Najua amefanya makosa mahali kwa kutoa matamshi yale, lakini kama mama Mombasa County namuombea pia msamaha hapa kama mama ambaye anaelewa wajane wanafuatia matatizo gani. Mimi kitu nitamwambia, hii wizara yetu tumekawia muda mrefu sana kupata waziri. Na wewe unaingia dada yetu Ann Cheptumo, angalia masala ya wanawake, femicide, mambo ya gender based violence yamekuwa donda sugu katika taifa hili. Na wewe kama mama tunataka utoe mwelekeo ulioko mzuri. Najua katika docket yako tuna PS ambaye ni Ann wa Ng'ombe, anafanya kazi nzuri sana. Na pengine kama mama haelewi kwa sababu ni mambo ambayo amekuja kuyapata, yule mdogo wake aweza kumuonyesha hapa na pale akaelewa. Na kama alivyosema mwalimu wake dada yetu hapa Gladys Cholei, mwalimu wako dadangu Ann Cheptumo amekuambia omba msamaha kwa akina mama wa Kenya, omba msamaha kwa Kenya kwa sababu matamshi ambayo uliyatoa yalikuwa si matamshi mazuri. Lakini hata hivyo haimaanishi kuwa wewe hauwezi kufanya kazi. Kama nilivyokuona katika masala mengine yote umejibu vizuri, umefocus vizuri, na nina imani ukija kwetu sisi kina mama 47 utatushika mkono ili tuweze kupigana na masala ambayo yanamaliza kina mama katika taifa hili. Kina mama wamekufa wengi, tumepata wengine wametupwa kwenye mashimo, watoto wetu wameuliwa katika BNB. Sio wote ambao wamekwenda kule wameenda kutafuta pesa kama ulivyosema, hapana. Wengine hata ni wachumba walikuwa wanajuana, lakini mtu ameingia tu ubaya katika moyo wake akafanya hivyo. Kwa hiyo mimi nakupongeza na nasema mama, karibu tufanye kazi pamoja na Mwenyezi Mungu akuongoze, na pole sana kwa msiba uliokupata. Na pia hii kazi imekuja wakati ambapo bado unaomboleza, ila nakuombea Mungu akupe ujasiri uweze kufanya kazi. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you. Member for Elders. 2 minutes please. There's a mic next to you. Use the one next to you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, I have known the Cheptumos and passed on to stand in order 90. They have acted for me long before they joined politics, so I know Hannah, and I have also known the late senator. These are people that anybody can vouch for. Extremely honest, pragmatic, and at times what the lady did yesterday has different interpretations, but I think we'll just say it was a slip of the tongue. And I'm sure that is not the Hannah that I know. The Speaker, having said this, there's a reason why the framers of the current constitution introduced stages in the approval process. In the old constitution, you are an institute lawyer. Individuals used to be just appointed by the president, meaning they lacked public interaction, they lacked that representation, they lacked that image of being the interface between the presidency and the public. And therefore, going through this, the president nominates, it's submitted to the House, it goes through vetting, it comes back to the House for approval. that itself clearly amplifies the persona of that particular individual. And therefore, I have no doubt in my mind, Hannah is going to serve everybody. I have total faith in her. I've interacted with them, and I believe she is the right person for this job. And therefore, I support her approval. The second, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Ruku, in my definition of a member of parliament, first of all, I see him as a self-made politician. Mr. Speaker, you know, and I think in those categories are yourself, myself, the Honorable Ruku, and many others. Because the day when he came to this house, I saw a young man who is determined to create an independent political path for himself. And that's a very rare quality. And therefore, in Ruku, I see somebody who is open, brave, courageous, decisive, and who has been working like a second timer or a third timer. And therefore, Mr. Ruku, wherever you come from, wherever now, whichever position right now, this position that you have been assigned, please keep on with that courage. Serve the Kenyan people diligently. Serve the president. Work for the image of the Republic of Kenya. And I have no doubt in my mind you have a promising future in our public affairs. And finally, Mr. Speaker, we even as members of parliament, our work is not just to be a conveyor belt. We give these people jobs. But equally, we are also supposed to oversight them. If they make mistakes, and I'm sure the leader of majority has alluded to this many times, we can invoke the necessary articles of our constitution and either cite them for contempt, either impeach them, or even deal with them through our relevant committees. And therefore, our work should not end there. This is just the beginning. And I hope once we approve, they will not assume that they have been given this job for eternity. We will be there, we will be following you, we will hold you accountable. Serve the Kenyan people without fear, without favor. Serve the president. Serve the community so that everybody appreciates. And to the lady, Mr. Speaker, she's not going to serve the ladies alone. The word gender encompasses both sides. And therefore, to the ladies who say the 47 women MPs are pana, it's for all of us. That will be our minister. And therefore, I support the approval. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The member for Baringo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I also want to put my word in congratulating these nominees of cabinet secretaries, starting with the Honorable Ruku, who is our colleague. And I must say, I have known and worked with Honorable Ruku before we all came to Parliament. I served with him when I was a volunteer in URP and all the way in Jubilee and TNA at that time. And very true, Honorable Ruku has proven to be a self-made politician, and he has shown a lot of dedication, specifically when he's delivering matters for Wananchi. And I have a lot of confidence that he's going to do a lot for this government and the people of Kenya, specifically in public service, where all Kenyans need the service. It will give us a proper direction and guidance. Also, he has contributed so much in the floor in most of the reforms that is going to help the people of Kenya and government in general. And for that, I want to congratulate him so much. Secondly, I want to congratulate also my constituent, who is Anna Wendot Cheptumo, for being nominated as a Gender, Culture and Arts and Heritage CS. On behalf of Baringo, I must say we are glad and thank the President for giving us this opportunity for one of us to serve the people of Kenya. And for sure, I don't want to belabor what most members have talked about, Honorable Anna Cheptumo, that she is a very capable and is able to do this work and the CS. And I want to also congratulate her because from her appearance, she was very confident. She was able to elaborate and give, that confidence that is going to do this work. And she's very able, Mr. Speaker. If you look at all the parameters, our qualification speaks for herself. And I want to say, for the utterance that she'd make on behalf of Baringo and all the leadership, I also want to say sorry. And we will support, I specifically going to support her and conditionally help her because this gender ministry deals with emotional matters, very psychological issues, and it's not easy. And leadership is very transient, and we are also learning on the process. Otherwise, I want to say thank you, and thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Murwa Dikir.
Thank you, Speaker, for allowing me also to weigh in on this issue of nominees to the cabinet position. Mr. Speaker, I will not belabor so much because I know both the candidates. I know Mheshimiwa Ruku, who has been with us here, has been standing tall with us and with his house. He has also been articulating several issues. He's a first-time member to this house, Mr. Speaker, but I will tell you, he has tabled so many bills in this house, Mr. Speaker. He has been, a very good debater and astute member. So, Mr. Speaker, I just don't want to say much about him. I will support him. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of Mrs. Windot Cheptumo, I would also want to say, Mr. Speaker, the last time we had such a position in this house, Mr. Speaker, we sacrificed a lady who had been also proposed for the same position. Mr. Speaker, in our culture, lightning doesn't strike twice. So we don't want to strike this lady just like we struck the other lady who was supposed to have held this position the last time, Mr. Speaker, when it was brought before this house. So whichever thing she said, all of us, in our culture also we say, ng'ombe inateleza na iko na miguu nne. How about binadamu? So as also, we do mistakes. There is no one who is clean in this house, including myself. We are all mistakes. We all make mistakes. And that is why Jesus came to this earth. And he went back. He died before he even corrected all the mistakes. So, Mr. Speaker, I support and I'm only encouraging her to ensure that she does well. She performs well. She doesn't let down this nation. She performs as per the Constitution and also respect this state. Mr. Speaker, lastly, even when we are passing
rule of law, Mr. Speaker, otherwise I think is fit for that job. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak to the issue of Honorable Anna, that everybody has spoken to, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I sat actually in the vetting. And one of the things that was very clear is that she's a very good lawyer, from what was even appearing in her CV. Mr. Speaker, she is very confident as a person. Mr. Speaker, from actually her history, you can see she's a person who seeks to improve herself. She studied law at a very late time in life. And so, Mr. Speaker, you can see she's a very committed person. And Mr. Speaker, you can see she's also very confident and she's given to learning. Mr. Speaker, I want to just speak to the issue that everybody has spoken to, which is the issue of what she said. And Mr. Speaker, it is very unfortunate because her statement seemed to imply that she was victim blaming. And I am very happy and I want to state to the House that I've actually seen in her Twitter handle that she has actually apologized. Because the members are asking her to apologize. She has actually apologized and I confirm that she has apologized. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that beyond her apology, we are dealing with a bigger issue. And Mr. Speaker, the bigger issue that for me is that she's also a victim of societal socialization. And Mr. Speaker, that is why every time you have a person coming for gender, there's always an issue. And I am glad that she's apologized, but that she needs to go further and notice that she needs capacity building. And Mr. Speaker, I personally, because I'm an expert in that area, I am willing to handhold and help her so that she can be able to serve Kenyans better. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate that this is the ministry that 3 times we have actually rejected the CSS in a very short time. And since July, it has been without a substantive CS, Mr. Speaker. The challenge goes back to the appointing authority, that we need to take this ministry seriously, and that we don't just use it as a means of filling up slots, I'm not saying this woman is incompetent. I've said she's actually very competent as a lawyer. But Mr. Speaker, when we want to give somebody some added responsibilities, we need to think more seriously about that. Otherwise, she's apologized. Let her also learn the way she did law late. Let her take courses on gender so that she's able to do. Otherwise, the women MPs are here and will be willing to unhold. I support Mr. Speaker.
Members, I noticed so much into this matter, but we have to close this matter. So I'll give the member for Kilgoris, and we'll close with the member for Kilifi North.
Mr. Speaker, yeah, indeed, I'll be brief because I want to support the appointment of Honorable Geoffrey Ruku because, Mr. Speaker, I know him very well. We have served together in the Delegated Legislation Committee. A lot of his contributions in that committee. Mr. Speaker, we had an opportunity to talk on that led to the Gen Z mess. And I know, Mr. Speaker, from that he was a very ardent supporter of he's a very ardent supporter of the Kenya Kwanza government. Because at that time, Mr. Speaker, you remember we voted no. And when we went to Rwanda, everybody was calling him and berating him for voting in favor of the finance bill. But he stood firm. Of course, he could not enjoy the Rwandese trip the way we did, and he did not contribute a lot. But he is a strong supporter of this house too. He has moved many motions, and he's an ardent attendant of the sessions of this house. Mr. Speaker, I hope the only thing that Honorable Ruku will of course keep in mind is that of course he carries the Miraa tag on him. He is also a strong supporter of the Muguka and Miraa trade. And I hope that he leaves that on the door so that he can serve the public that does not take Muguka. But he's going to be a good minister. He's a strong person. I have listened to Mr. Honorable Maklap and other people defending Hannah Cheptumo. Mr. Speaker, I don't know Hannah Cheptumo, but I watched her on TV, and I think, Mr. Speaker, that the good qualities which have been stated by the leader of majority about Hannah Cheptumo were not easily visible from what she was saying on TV. You could not judge her good qualities by listening to her on TV. Maybe those qualities were very well concealed. And I only understand from both Mr. Honorable Maklap and my own leader, Minority Whip, that we have to pass this thing on sympathy because she's a widow and that she has recently suffered and so on. But we must accept, honorable members, that in future we should not come to the house and say that we appoint ministers on sympathy. We must.
What the Honorable Milu just spoken? What is out of order? What is out of order? And the Honorable Sunguli, you need to finalize.
I finalize.
Thank you.
What is out of order?
Thank you. The honorable member is actually a very senior member, and he knows that when I'm on a point of order, he has to sit down. Unless I got him wrong, Mr. Speaker, he actually just said that the minority whip has said that we pass this lady on sympathy because she has lost her husband. Mr. Speaker, I've not said anything like that here. I've actually said she has apologized for what she said. And I've also said she needs to have capacity building. I've not talked about her husband and sympathy. Yes, I do sympathize. She's a widow. And at a private level, yes, I would support her on that. Privately.
Thank you.
Not on the floor of the House. So he needs to correct. That is not correct. I've not said that.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I actually need to correct if I said minority whip, because I meant minority leader, because that is, I was referring to the Honorable Junette. And you know, minority whip is now my boss, and I really don't want to clash with her in any way. So, Mr. Speaker, I rest my case because at any rate, I am in support.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support this very important motion. I would like to thank the committee, Honorable Speaker. They did a wonderful job. We saw them pushing the candidates very hard and asking very important questions. Honorable Speaker, for the Honorable Hannah Wendot, I got to know her in the 11th Parliament because of her career as a lawyer. She is extremely hardworking. She is compassionate, and she is going to be a very good cabinet secretary if approved by this House. She has been supporting widows outside this House. She has been supporting boys and girls, Honorable Speaker, in church. And she has been a mentor for both genders. And I believe that she's going to do a very good job. She answered her questions very well. And even for the statement that is being mentioned, Honorable Speaker, I must say that Honorable Hannah Cheptumo is not that way. Sitting on that hot seat, Honorable Speaker, is not easy. And someone can have a slip of the tongue. She is going to defend those girls that we are talking about, our children. She's going to collaborate with the ministries, the relevant ministries, including the Ministry of Interior, where she must work very closely with, and she'll do a wonderful job. I ask the House to have confidence in Mrs. Cheptumo. Honorable Speaker, concerning the Honorable Ruko, our colleague, he is a wonderful man. He is outspoken, and he takes time to read. Honorable Speaker, at times when Mr. Speaker gives us a chance to sit where you are seated, Mr. Speaker, we get a chance to understand the Honorable Ruko better than other members. When you require any form of support, seated in your position, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ruko is always there, Mr. Speaker, and especially in the Committee of the Whole House, where when the person running the Committee of the Whole House requires support of a member who has read and understood a bill, the Honorable Ruko is always there. He is highly educated, very compassionate, and loud. I believe that public service requires a person who can speak. So, the Honorable Speaker, I support both our candidates, and thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak.
Thank you. Honorable Vaya.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to first congratulate the Committee on Appointments for a good job done. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I would like to speak about the Honorable Jeffrey Ruku, the nominee for the State Department for Public Service. Honorable Speaker, one of the very key characteristics of Honorable Ruku is that he's always there. And that's very important. For you to succeed, you have to show up. You have to be there. And Honorable Ruku always shows up. And that's why most of the time you find him in this House doing his job. I'm sure when he goes to the ministry, he'll do a good job. But Honorable Speaker, I would like to speak about Hannah Wendot Cheptumo. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. She has a big docket: gender, arts, culture, and heritage. The focus has only been on the gender aspect, but we have the other three aspects for which I am very sure she'll be capable to ensure that the youth in this country benefit from their arts, they benefit from their talent, they benefit from their performances. Honorable Speaker, the issue of heritage, many countries in this world profit immensely from their heritage. But for many years in this country, for Jesus, and we have the opportunity of having UNESCO protected areas in this country, which have never been exploited for tourism or otherwise. I want to urge Wandeto, when she is actually approved, to ensure that the heritage sites we have in this country are exploited for the benefit of this country. The young people, their music, their videos, their talents are actually used. For a long time, the young people have been left. But now we have a lady, a mother, a lawyer, a mentor, a person of high-level integrity who, Mr. Speaker, I believe will help the young people in this country achieve their dreams. Honorable Speaker, with those remarks, I support the confirmation of Honorable Ruko and the Honorable Wandeto Cheptumo. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. And put the vote now.
The member for Chuka Gamangombe, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, I stand on a point of order according to 95A of our standing orders, Mr. Speaker. Having listened to the debate here, members, about the two CSAs and leading the mood of the House, Mr. Speaker, and having listened to what members have said about Mrs. Hannah Wendot, who is Cheptumo, and Ruku, who is my neighbor and a friend, and a neighboring constituency, Adambele, for the people I represent, or people of Butere, also from my constituency. And I think, Mr. Speaker, the mood of the House is we call the mover to reply, because we accept that these two people are well qualified to serve as CSS in this country, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Is it the mover of the House that the mover calls to reply? Thank you. The mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to take this opportunity as I reply to thank all the members who have contributed, Honorable Speaker. And as I had stated earlier, Honorable Speaker, on Hannah Wendot's apology, indeed, she did tender an apology on the 14th of April, and I think that was the same day of the vetting. And on her handle at Hannah W. Cheptumo, she says that first and foremost, I sincerely apologize for this statement and wholly withdraw it. No woman under any circumstances. And the apology is there on the X handle. Kenyans can be able to read. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank the members for the support that they have expressed for these two nominees. And we congratulate them and ask them, as they get into public office, to serve with the dedication and
the members at the bar
that they have been serving in their other capacities, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to reply. If the Honorable member at the door can just take a seat, I beg to reply.
Hello, members. Thank you so much. I now want to put the question so that this man is right one way or the other. Order. Order. The question is that the Honorable Duku, I made a declaration this morning that when they speak on his or her feet, freeze means you keep quiet. The question is that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its 5th report on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as cabinet secretaries, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 152(2) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Act Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as cabinet secretaries. 1, the Honorable Geoffrey Kiringa Ruku to the Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs, and 2, Ms. Hannah Wendot Cheptumo to the Ministry of Gender, Culture, the Arts, and Heritage. Will, as a member of that opinion, say aye? Aye. Will those of that opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The other members, we will spend the next few minutes. We have 4 members who had statements. We skip them. So we go back to order number 7 quickly. And we start with the member. Let's call the order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
The member for Isiolo County. The member for Isiolo County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Call for me, leader. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for a statement regarding salary enhancement for teachers in municipality areas in Isiolo County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the implementation status of enhanced salary packages for teachers within Isiolo municipality. Honorable Speaker, following the 2021 collective bargaining agreement signed by the Teachers Service Commission, it was agreed teachers working in municipalities will receive increased house allowances. In 2018, Isiolo Town was officially recognized as a municipality. However, to date, teachers serving within its jurisdiction have not received the salary increment as stipulated in the CBA. This delay has adversely impacted their motivation and overall well-being, potentially undermining the quality of education. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education to apprise the House on the following. 1, the current status of the implementation of enhanced salaries.
Order. Go ahead.
1, the current status of the implementation of enhanced salaries and allowances for the teachers in Isiolo municipality. And 2, measures the Commission is undertaking to ensure timely and fair remuneration for teachers in gazetted municipalities, including their outstanding payments in 2018 and the timeline for implementation. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You know, the member for Tinderet, this question, you're the chairman of the Committee on Education.
Yes.
How long will you take to respond to this matter?
In 2 weeks' time, Honorable Speaker.
The member for Isiolo County, follow up with the member 2 weeks. The next one is by the Honorable Rashid Benzimba.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee on Education on the criteria for recognition and equation of certificates and diplomas obtained from schools offering international curricula in the country. Honorable Speaker, there exist 2 curricula in the Kenya education system, the international curricula and the CBC, which replaced the former 844 curriculum. International curricula are recognized by the world-based universities and employers, giving students a wide range of options in their education career. However, students who complete their studies under the international curriculum often face challenges seeking admission to local university or employment in the public sector due to restrictive guidelines set by the Kenya National Examination Council. Honorable Speaker, one of the core functions of the Kenya National Examination Council is to carry out equation of certificates and diplomas issued by the credible examining boards. However, the guidelines published by Council on 31st May 2024 stipulate that institutional-based certificates or courses, whether local or international, similar to those offered by NEC, are not equitable. Currently, over 11,000 students are enrolled in various institutions offering international curricula in the country. This policy effectively bars these students from admission to local university and from employment within the public sector.
Order members, the Honorable Rashid Benziba should be heard in silence. We are not even able to hear what he's saying. Please proceed.
Solely due to the lack of an equivalent certification. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, the reason for the inordinate delay by NEC in formulating guidelines on equations of certificate or diplomas obtained from schools offering international curriculum within the country. 2, measures undertaken by the Ministry of Education to facilitate the equation of certificates and diplomas obtained from the international school in the country, thereby allowing these students access local university admission and public sector employment opportunities. 3, action taken by the Ministry of Education to address the challenges faced by students of international curricula who are impacted by NEC policies. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. That statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Education. Chairman Education, Honorable Meli, when will you be able to respond to this statement?
Yes, in 2 weeks' time, Madam Speaker.
In 2 weeks, thank you. Next. The Honorable Abdul Haro, member for Madera South. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to request for a statement regarding status of upgrading Elwak Power Station with a hybrid solar system. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding the status of retrofitting the LWAC diesel powered off-grid power station with a hybrid solar photovoltaic system. Honorable Speaker, LWAC town is the largest town in Mandera County with a steadily growing population and a rising demand for electricity to support domestic business and public utility needs. In order to enhance electricity access in areas far from the national grid, the Kenya Power, KPLC, commissioned diesel-powered off-grid stations in remote regions, including the LWAC off-grid station in viable, unsustainable, and costly due to frequent generator breakdowns, high fuel costs, and the rising electricity demand. To address the issue, a hybridization project was initiated in 2016 to retrofit the LWAC station with a solar photovoltaic system in combination with the existing diesel setup. Although the project is nearly at 80% completion, work has stalled since July 2024 due to failure by KPLC to meet the donor condition of onboarding a consultant to assess the work done in order to facilitate payment for the contract. Currently, LWAC is facing the worst power outage since the inception of its electricity supply, and there is need to resolve the issue, restore the grid to its full capacity, and fast-track completion of the hybridization project. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy on the following. A, steps that the Ministry of Energy is taking to restore LWAC off-grid power station to its required operational capacity of 600 kilowatts to address power outages. B, reasons for the prolonged delay by KPLC in procuring and onboarding a consultant, including status of onboarding the consultant as required by the donor. C, report on the details of monthly diesel fuel supply requirements for the off-grid stations located in LWAC, Takaba, Banisa, Ramu, Lafe, and Mandera towns, and the KPLC operating costs for the LWAC power station from 2017 to 2024, and D, the status of the hybridization project of LWAC off-grid power station, including specific timelines for completion of the remaining part of the project, deviation in timelines from the originally projected completion date, and the cost implications, if any. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you very much. That statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Energy. Chair, I understand that the chair is out on official business. Is the vice chair in? In the absence of the vice chair, any member of that committee?
We'll reply on the statement in maximum 2 weeks. The statement in maximum 2 weeks.
2 weeks maximum. Thank you very much. Next, the Honorable Ongondo Were, MP Kaspul.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. In pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Environment, Forestry, and Mining regarding indiscriminate and illegal mining activities in Kowedi location, Kasipul constituency. Honorable Speaker, there are arising cases of miners in Kowedi location engaging in unregulated mining activities that endangers the residents by leaving behind deeply excavated trenches and boreholes, some extending to the depth of over 150 feet. This hazardous excavation poses significant safety risk to livestock and residents, particularly to children, and has resulted into a number of fatalities. Furthermore, the use of highly toxic substances such as mercury in mineral extraction process not only contaminates water sources, posing a severe health risk to residents, but it's also detrimental to the environment. This is in violation of the provision of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, Cap 387, and the Minamato Convention on Mercury, to which Kenya is a signatory. These dire environmental and safety situations call for stricter enforcement of compliance with environmental regulations in order to guarantee public safety and conserve the environment. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forest and Mining on the following. Roman 1, measures put in place to enforce compliance with the provision of the Mining Act, Cap 306, and the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, Cap 387, on regulation of mining activities in Kowidi location to safeguard the environmental and public safety. Roman 2, the immediate and long-term actions being undertaken to mitigate environmental degradation, including compelling miners to refill deep trenches and addressing the dry up of local wells. Roman 3, a list of registered and licensed gold mining companies operating in Kasipul constituency and Homa Bay County, their compliance status, the revenue collected by the government from the activities in the last 5 years, and the share allocated to the devolved government. Roman 4, confirmation of whether families who lost their kin in various mining activities will receive compensation, and if so, the proposed compensation structure, given that in most instances the deceased were breadwinners in their respective families. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. That statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining. Is the chair in the House? Is the Vice Chair in the House? Any member of that committee? In the absence of the member, I would like to pass this to the Honorable Naomi Wako. When can the member for Kasipul get a response to this statement?
Since we are going on recess in 2 weeks' time, I promise the chair will work hard, and 2 weeks after recess. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next order.
Order number 14, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for East African Community Affairs.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Department Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 1553B of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Dr. Caroline Wanjuru.
But it's okay. Do I have to go back to that?
No, just confirm Mr. Chair.
But is he the chair? He's the chair, right?
I would like to first of all confirm that the chairperson, remember you continued before I called, that you are the chairperson, Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations.
True.
This is a very important motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am the Vice Chair of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations, and I'm doing it on behalf of the Chair, who is away on other official matters.
Thank you. You may now proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me start again. I beg to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 1553B of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Dr. Caroline Wanjuru Karugu as Principal Secretary, State Department of East African Community Affairs. Honorable Speaker, in the spirit of public accountability and constitutional fidelity, and guided by the wisdom of our father, Julius Nyerere, who once said, leadership is not about power, it's about responsibility. The Federal Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations undertook the solemn task of vetting a nominee destined to serve at the fulcrum of Kenya's regional engagement within the East African community. Honorable Speaker, in this regard, and pursuant to Article 132(2)(e) of the Constitution of Kenya, and in accordance with Section 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act Cap 7F, His Excellency the President transmitted to the National Assembly the nomination of Dr. Caroline Karugu for appointment as Principal Secretary for the State Department of East African Community Affairs. In keeping with established parliamentary procedures, the Honorable Speaker, acting under Standing Orders 42(2), 45(1), and 2165F, duly referred the nomination of the individual to this committee for vetting and reporting. Honorable Speaker, in examining the nominee, the committee was guided not only by legal status, but the conscious and public expectation, fully aware that the words of Thabo Mbeki, which I quote, "The people of Africa are not indifferent to good governance, they are hungry for it." Thus, those who seek to serve must be judged not by their promise, but by their preparations, their record, and their vision. The committee's vetting exercise was conducted in a public forum anchored in the principle of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and the Public Appointments Act, the Public Service Commission Act, and the Leadership and Integrity Act, and focused on assessing the nominees' academic credentials, professional experience, leadership, vision, moral standing, and public acceptability. Honorable Speaker, on academic grounding, the committee noted that Dr. Karugu holds a doctorate of business administration, a global executive master's in business administration, strategy, a postgraduate certificate in small and medium business management, and a bachelor's of commerce. Dr. Karugu's academic and professional portfolio demonstrates intellectual rigor and technical competence and satisfies the requirement of sections 47(2) of the Public Service Commission Act. Honorable Speaker, these qualifications are not just academic achievements, but instruments of public utility. Dr. Karugu's intellectual foundation speaks to such a readiness to serve as the PS for East African Community Affairs. Honorable Speaker, in her 24 years of service across public and private spheres, including her role as Deputy Governor of Nyeri County, Dr. Karugu led programs on public finance, intergovernmental coordination, and citizen empowerment. These are the competencies directly transferable to her prospective role in regional coordination and integration. As Wangari Maathai commanded us before, you cannot protect the environment unless you empower the people, and you cannot empower people unless you include them. Dr. Karugu's track record reflects such inclusive governance, and this was actually presented to us as a committee during the vetting. Honorable Speaker, on strategic vision, the nominee presented a clear and actionable framework for deepening Kenya's role within the East African community. Her priorities include trade facilitation, infrastructure connectivity, and harmonization of policy and standards, all geared towards elevating Kenya's regional leverage. Honorable Speaker, on matters of integrity, the nominee was cleared by all relevant statutory agencies, that is the Ethics and Corruption, Kenya Revenue Authority, the DCI, HELP, Office of the political parties, with no adverse reports mentioned so far. Her ethical disposition and commitment to transparent service were apparent. Honorable Speaker, on public participation, the committee fulfilled the provision of Article 1181B of the Constitution by inviting written memorandum from members of the public. No objection were recorded. Instead, her integrity and competence were endorsed by one Gershom Otachi through a sworn affidavit. Honorable Speaker, taken together, the committee found in Dr. Caroline Karugu a candidate of distinction and depth, whose intellectual capacity, professional grounding, strategic vision, and ethical fiber place her in good stead to advance Kenya's objectives in the East African community. Her appointment, the committee believes, will strengthen Kenya's regional diplomacy, enhance institutional coordination, and amplify Kenya's voice in shaping the future of the East African community. Honorable Speaker, in the enduring words of one Patrice Lumumba, the future of Africa lies in the hands of its own people, and the committee is confident that Dr. Karugu represents the caliber of leadership required to carry this future forward. Honorable Speaker, in my many years and times of vetting individuals, Karlai Karugu came out as one who performed to the best. Kenya's position in the East African community will be well maintained. Honorable Speaker, accordingly, the committee recommends to the House that it approves the nomination of Dr. Caroline Karugu for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for East African Community Affairs. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and urge the House to adopt this report. I now request the Honorable Kenya Kwanza to second this motion. I thank you.
The Honorable Kenya Kwanza, please proceed to second.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise with both conviction and clarity to second this motion that this House approves the appointment of Dr. Caroline Wanjiru Karugu as the Principal Secretary for the State Department for East African Community Affairs. At the onset, Madam Speaker, allow me to salute the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations for executing its constitutional mandate with diligence and discernment of statesmen. In the words of Amika Cabro, tell no lies, claim no easy victories. This report is an honest statement to the committee's dedication to transparency, justice, and fidelity to law. Madam Speaker, on Monday, 7th April of 2025, Madam Dr. Karugu stood not as an aspirant, but as an embodiment of experience and vision. She spoke with authority on East African community matters, Kenya's treaty obligations, and the latent opportunities that lie in stronger regional bloc. Madam Speaker, her academic record spoke for herself and speaks for herself to date. She's a holder of a doctorate in business administration. She has held different portfolios in different fields, both in public sphere and private sector. Dr. Karugu is one person who is a go-getter. From her young age, she has served in different capacities in managerial positions, and she has come out as one of the best decision makers that we have had in terms of the young generation that she represented then. Madam Speaker, Kwame Nkrumah once said, those who judge us merely by heights we have achieved would do well to remember the depths from which we started. Dr. Karugu's journey reflects both achievement and endurance. Madam Speaker, in her public service, notably as the Deputy Governor of Nyeri, she led governance and development initiatives which were with distinction. Her prior tenure as Geothermal Development Authority, Britam Holdings, and Nairobi Securities Exchange provided her panoramic view of economic planning and institutional.
Opinion say aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Move.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the discussions and the comments and the ideas that the House has had in discussing the approval of Aden Abdi Miller. And I reply.
Honorable members, for convenience of the House, I defer putting of the question to a time that it will be scheduled by the House Business Committee. Next order.
Order number 18, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment of Principal Secretary, State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications.
Honorable members, in the interest of time, I defer order number 18 to a time as it will be scheduled by the House Business Committee. There be no other business, honorable members? The time now being 12:58 p.m., this House is adjourned until today, Wednesday, the 16th of April at 2:30 p.m.